TV almost turned this off. The Satya thing. I forgot was going to watch it. Stanford. The business. Yeah, it's a college. It's a business. Okay. You got to understand all universities in the world today are businesses. Okay. They're not what they're intended to be. You know, school is to teach people to help get together and correct their mistakes when they're doing things incorrectly. That's all that school is for. Okay. The learning is a lesson, and they had the thing on the news with the bugs and the guy playing with scorpions and all that, and holding the scorpions and stuff. And yeah, that's nice and everything. And I try not to, you try to build right and respect and stuff. But you know, sharks will eat you. Just so you know. And dogs, their ancestors, well, dogs now will eat you. Okay, there's wild dogs and packs of dogs in Texas that will do that. Okay, they will eat you. They will eat your children. They won't feel bad if the baby's crying and saying, "Stop it, doggy, be nice, doggy," that they'll just eat the child. They're hungry. Okay, do you understand? No, pero no. They don't care. They're going to eat the child. Okay? And business people and people in the military don't care because it's survival of the fittest and it's all business, and it's a sport. It's like, no, it's not. Okay, life is a precious gift that goes beyond your capacity to see life as sport. All right? Trust me, I dropped out of college because it was genocidal, not because I wasn't intelligent enough to handle the curriculum. Okay, I dropped out of Arizona State University in 1999. The same way, it took me. It was different with Judy Krishnamurti. See, I was in with the regular kids. And my dad was a plumber, and my mom was a legal secretary. And there was no, this is the one like the Buddha. He's Maitreya, and none of that shit going on. Benjamin Krim has come. None of that shit was going on. It was going on behind the scenes, which I found out later when I ended up in Sierra Vista, Arizona, and they all came to challenge me. And it's like, what are you doing? And then when I listened to Judy talk, at the UN, I've lived this long, and everybody I talked to, they either, they basically, he said it nicely, they either challenge you or kiss your ass. There's like no in between. Challenge you or kick your ass, kiss your ass. Big Samoan guys who you talk kindly to the girl they're with, they usually try to challenge you. Or big Hawaiian guys, Polynesian dudes. You're like, you really want to get your ass kicked, don't you? You're going to kick my ass. Yeah. Like when I was talking about the gambling syndicates that rigs the games, and the big black offensive lineman that played at New Mexico State was yelling at me, "You mean to tell me just about every game I ever played in was rigged? You're just crazy, old man." It's like, yeah, if you were going to win, but Vegas said you weren't, you weren't. I was leaving the stadium. It was when we lost to UTEP that night. When the punter got held by the UTEP guy before he could get the punt return. And on our punt, Teldrick made a wonderful one, and we got called for a penalty. They had an open lane. Yeah, because they held like 3 times. Okay. You can call holding on in just about any play. But the thing was we lost in overtime. But it was Conference USA officials, and at that time the Aggies weren't independent, and it's a business. And so they're getting a big ticket receipts. This is a rivalry game. Half the stadium was filled with 14,000 El Pasoans. Okay. So, if they lost because, they're the little brother to they can handle that. The Washington Generals can handle that. They get paid. They go home. They got a wife and kids. They're not getting raped, looted, and pillaged. Yeah, but we're also not healthy. Right? And then they have these commercials about opioids. It's called Opita, so it means it's had opioids in it. About helping you live longer from cancer. And they keep saying live longer. It's like, no, it's not living long. You're fighting cancer. You do not fight cancer, okay? You avoid the conditions for cancer. We all know this. Any basic medical student knows this. Okay. The cancer cells are already in the body. They're a humane shutdown method because we don't have morphine in the body. We don't have opioids in the body, right? So the cancer cells say, okay, there's too much toxins and you got to die, and just shut down and die. And that's what the cancer cells are doing. So when the people researching it and making a business off of your being tortured and sick, so you accept it as reality, they say, well, you got to fight cancer. It's getting smarter. The cancer's trying to be merciful and kill you because they're not going to move you off the freeway. The cancer's trying to be merciful and kill you because they're not going to stop asking you for money for the treatment. Okay, so the cancer, the way you're thinking is the way the cancer cells are going to react. Okay, my family's not going to be able to pay for this. It's going to put them in debt for 40 years, and they're going to die from cancer because they'll never be able to move away from the freeway because we're too poor. And my sons are both going to have to work for Osako. They cut that down. Well, then they'll get a new job doing something else like that. Okay, and you don't need to do that. Okay, now the farmer sustains the city, and the city does not sustain the farmer. Okay, the cotton gin, okay, wouldn't be a cotton gin if it wasn't for the cotton, right? So without the cotton, you have no cotton gin. So, take your gin and juice and go the fuck over there and screw yourself. Right? Oh, didn't put the slaves out of work, the sharecroppers and stuff out of work. Just made them move to the cities to try to kill each other. And you see it in the cities when they showed the show on Venezuela, and they see all these, it was a thriving marketplace, then the economic thing turned, and the genocidal operations took a turn for the moon over Parador, and then now there's all these things with the gates closed down because they fight over what they want, and they kill over what they want, and they've been doing it for thousands of years, so right side now, life is a highway, I want to drive it all night long. It's a sport. No, it's not. Okay? Singing sad songs about dysfunctional families that accept murder and money as reality and totally deny Jesus Christ and Muhammad is insane. It's a serious contest. I'm writing this down in the trench, Mom. Don't scold if it isn't so neat, the way that you did when I was a kid and came home with mud on our feet. Remember that song? I used to like it when I was a kid. Now I listen to it and go, what the fuck is wrong with these people? My favorite of his reminds me of my second wife. It's called I Know I'm Only Shelley's Winter Love. Yeah. I know I'm only Amy's winter love. She only seems to need me now and then. And she's mine alone till springtime comes again. And then she goes out when her friends calling her from town. And then me and the kids had to survive it. And Dr. Salazar said, that's just pure evil. It's like, what do you do? And women aren't given the love of Jesus Christ and Muhammad and Solomon and David and so on, so on and so forth. You go to school, get your degree, and just prescribes them some drugs. And if you take more of those, you will get an overdose and go running for the shelter of the mother's little helper. How many Rolling Stone records do you have there, Mary Claire? You got diamonds in your hair. And a racehorse from a sultan. The Aga Khan or whatever. Yeah, that's a pretty cool song. Yeah, I got it on my MP3. And where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Yeah, the one that was really getting me was, I was listening to last night. Well, Tommy Edwards, of course, Sigh when I sigh. Yeah, that's a cool song. That's the Way of Love. That's one of his better tones. It's a gorgeous tone. Yeah. That man had a big parade of hits. Okay. They're just not considered as hip. And, Morning Side of the Mountain is wonderful. Mr. Sun is wonderful. It's Not the End of Everything is a good tune. That's the Way with Love is wonderful. It's All in the Game is wonderful. He sings Don't Fence Me In really good. Give me skies. He liked country music that was really good. He has a couple of those. He loved, like they all do. I told Dad I was laughing because old Marty Robbins, man, he's singing, he loves Hawaiian songs. Even high powered, everybody does it in Hawaii. When he went to Hawaii, he was like, oh my gosh. And he said it, these women are beautiful. Well, they live in a very clean climate. It was a very remote and had violent sex cult activities, yes. Okay. But they had a lot of what they needed to have healthy lives, to have very healthy bodies. Because that's where this guy with the tattoos from Stanford and and the other kid, what's his name? Huberman, or yeah, I can't remember. They're crazy. Just forgive debt and trespass. I'm afraid the military will kill me. So if they kill you. So look, Jesus was crucified, and the assholes that betrayed him and crucified him lived to be old fucking paranoid farts like Tiberius. You want to be an old paranoid fart trying to hold on to your fuck money and pass it on to your grandkids? Or do you want to live a wonderful life? Oh, it's a wonderful life. Or run around all the time talking to your Puka Harvey about how much money does it take to survive genocidal warfare through mechanization and in the Industrial Revolution. In the year 3510, if God's coming, he ought to be here by then. God's omniscient, omnipotent. What do you mean if God's coming? Look. I'm a coming. Oh, get out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's horrible. It's horrible to hear people talk that say, I am educated. No, you're a dictator and a legislator. You are a product of dictation and legislation. That's all you are. Why are you riding the bike with all them cars? Surviving the poison? Don't you think you could live to be 120 or 150 if you rode a bike not near the cars to survive the poison? And if they put all the poison away and they didn't pay you $600,000 to $1 million to come and get an exercise program from you, that they would probably live longer just by exercising in a healthy manner instead of a sadistic way? Or back in did you guys study me in 2006, 17 at all? I told them in 8 months. I didn't do excessive or compulsive stuff at all. Now, I finally got up to 3 sets, not pyramiding the weight because I didn't want to put on weight. I just wanted to be strong. And I'm healthier when I'm leaner than when I'm bulkier. And so I got down to like 10% body fat in 8 months. I was chemically poisoned at the thing. I was detoxing from it. And instead of getting help from the military, they wanted to give me methadone and money to die with the methadone. Like, wow, you got their fucking heroes. Oh, you're so sexy. Some speak 5 different languages and can assassinate you in comic raw, Apkido, Jukido, and Jippy Dom Doo, and in Jiffy Lube. Yes, with a Jiffy Lube. Yeah, the impact range. Yeah, like Antoine Sugar there, baby. They're fucking nuts. It's like, really? What do you do when a guy has a healthier immune system, more compassionate, intelligent intellect, and has endorphins and dopamines off the charts? We put him in his dad's guest house that used to be a garage and have people for a paycheck have chemicals that agitate the chemical poisoning. We already put him in legally. Yeah, legally. Legalese. Yeah, Supreme Court. Yeah, Supreme Court. Yeah, Justice Bayer and Scalia and Ruth Gator Ginsburg is going to go down in history as one of the people that legally tried to poison Ralph Earl Parsons Jr. to death because he gets people killed because he's a loose cannon and he doesn't know what he's talking about and he's uneducated and I dropped out of school because it was genocidal, not because I was stupid. It was economic competition. I said I was a history major. The whole problem with people is giving money value and people killing over it and then feeling powerful from it. So we eliminate that. Forgive debt and trespass, love one, son of faithful peace. Bam, we're there. That was after I talked to Malik in prayer. Then he died. And I didn't get to talk to him again. He was murdered. Okay. He didn't have time. He called Alex Haley and that weekend he was murdered. Well, the devil knows what they're doing 50 years in advance, according to Nelson Rockefeller on the Z Guys movies, right? Geniuses. Bloody fucking geniuses. I'm surrounded by bloody fucking geniuses. Okay, guys. Don't worry about it. Technology will assimilate to people like myself to protect us from people that invented it to try to act like people like myself don't exist. We'll be fine. Don't worry about being murdered. Be more concerned about being a murderer. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace.